Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest,
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
and today we're going to talk about the new episode of The Last of Us, the flashback episode, and well, another flashback episode. Because wasn't there like another flashback episode, where the entirety of the episode was a
Uh,
flashback, or was that?
Bill and Fred, was that a flashback or is that just
That was kind of like their whole
That's like a
history
separate
up until
It's more like a
now.
flash, more like a flash sideways. Because
yeah.
I mean, I think they
That's
both
tough.
died before Ellie and Joel got there.
Mhm.
But I mean, I
Yeah,
guess like
that's-
obviously the
like a
opening of the first
philosophical
episode was a
question.
flashback. Or was it like in present day and then it was a flash forward? No, it was 2003. It was a flashback. So,
And then it just cuts to her again and it lets you know, try to get a full understanding of what she's feeling right there.
yeah,
Talking about
so it
Ellie
was kind of
with,
like,
episode
yeah, it's kind of
7?
like,
Yeah, when she gets to that door and pauses, and that's when it cuts back to the.
Oh yeah, 'cause, very
Cutscene.
clever, right? 'Cause
Yeah, and then it
episode's
goes
called Left
back, and you
Behind.
Yeah, and you understand how she's feeling right there. That
Mhm.
she
Like, you
told
think
her
it's
not
about
to give
Joel.
up.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's get into it. Besides that, we're also going to be talking. What else we can talk about? We don't have time for the news, though. We got no damn time for the news.
Ant-Man.
Did you know Ant-Man is in the word Quantum Mania?
Yeah, did we say that last week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I know some writer out there was just like,
Well, Ozzy
Just so
Osbourne is going to be
happy.
like listening to this episode. He's like, boobs! They used the same joke from the last Zeitgeist Zealots episode. Remember Austin Powers?
That was a pretty good. Yeah, that was a pretty good impression.
Boobs!
Also, Bad Batch. I'm just gonna recap it. I'm not gonna go.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I'm probably 5 weeks or 6 weeks behind on Bad Batch.
Well,
did it get better after the race episode?
Yes. Watch episodes. I think 7 and 8. It's like I don't know. I talked about it last podcast. What was it the clone conspiracy and
Okay.
something else?
Wait,
episode
that's the name
7
of
and 8.
that's the name of a Spider-Man event. The Clone Conspiracy. I wonder if Dan Slott wrote it.
Well, I mean, I guess if Disney owns everything, it doesn't matter in the end, right?
That's true, because Disney owns. Well, it's funny because Disney does not own the movie rights to Spider-Man. That's like the only.
But they
thing
own the
that doesn't
comic book
own.
rights.
That's true. So, yeah, I'm guessing the writers were Spider-Man fans. So,
Maybe.
although that event was sort of like, yeah.
So to quickly recap, Bad Batch season 2, episode 11. I actually would put this on the watch column.
Okay.
This slowly inches forward the story of Emperor Palpatine, and his cloning arc. We get to see those really cool dinosaurs from the Clone Wars that are basically like impossible to kill, the Zillos. And then we also get to see some Star Wars space whales called Purgles, which is just huge Rebels vibe with Ezra. So we might see how like Bad Batch might end up in like rescuing Ezra, and like that's how he gets to the Ahsoka show. Who knows, right? But you don't just throw in some Star Wars space whales for no reason. So keep an eye on that. But overall, I'd say Bad Batch season 2, episode 11, worth watching. Like
So
the
these-
Mandalorian, right? There's some synergy going on there.
So these dinosaurs in Bad Batch, are they force
the
sensitive?
I believe so. They were discovered in like the last season of Clone Wars, I think. You know, when they brought it back and stuff. But they are 100% vital to Emperor Palpatine being able to force clone.
Okay.
But I don't remember them necessarily, lifting boulders with their mind or doing backflips like other force wielders.
Well, there's like, I don't know, in the Heir to the Empire book, which is like set after Return of the Jedi. It was like written like the 80s or 90s. I think probably like the 90s. But they're like, I think there's like these dinosaurs that can disrupt force sensitive beings or something like that. I was wondering if this was, because I'm wondering how much from the EU that the Dave Filoni is going to be using for his Disney EU, but
as much as he doesn't want to write himself, I'd say, or as much as he wants to respect,
I'd say, well, he has his work cut out for him then, because he doesn't need
They
to
should
write
bring
anything.
they should bring evil Luke, right? If they don't want to be cowards, bring back evil Luke with 2 U's.
Remember when Kathleen Kennedy said like Star Wars is more difficult to make movies and TV shows for because there's no books or comics to draw from? Oh boy,
Hilarious.
way to show how incompetent.
And they
you
renew
are.
your contract. What? Just the worst. Disney puts. Sorry, wrong podcast. Check out Roots Research, my other financial business podcast, if you want to hear me rant about Disney puts. But guys, let's talk about. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Mandalorian, or
Let's talk about Last of Us? Let's
The
talk
Last of
about the
Us?
thing I've seen. Yeah.
All right,
So,
let's talk about The Last of Us, episode 7, aka Left Behind.
Yeah. So I think two more.
Yep. 9 episodes.
And I was surprised there was no rapture in this episode. It was called Left Behind. So that was
Can I
disappointing.
just say, first off, thank God Joel's still alive, right? Like, what a cliffhanger the TV show left us on last episode, right? I for sure thought Joel was dead. You know,
He's not gonna die until he gets his
looking good
brains
for him.
beat out by Abby. Come on.
Oh, spoiler! Yeah, go back and include. No one's listening to this. Listen to you. Spoiler for season 2 and game 2 of The Last of Us. Well, geez, I'm actually really
That
happy.
was a total guess. Okay. Well.
Oh, was that
let's see
really?
what happened. Yeah. So,
I actually,
Abby,
that's
like,
funny. I
always-
had a moral conundrum, like a conundrum today, having a conversation with this, trying to figure out like how much should I spoil of The Last of Us. So I actually like literally just talked myself into learning about that today. And I'm glad I did, because it would have been spoiled 10 seconds later by you. So great community, great synergy all around. I'm totally fine with it.
So starts with, it doesn't start, but like the flashback starts with her running in the crappy gym in her crappy gym clothes, and she's listening to her Walkman from like the 90s or whatever, because it's not like an iPod, is it? It's like it's a cassette, right?
No, it's a straight up Sony Walkman, man.
Is
Technology
it a
stopped
CD?
in
Is it a CD or is it
2003.
a cassette?
I thought it was a cassette. I don't remember.
It looked too small to be like a CD player, so I thought it was like a cassette player. Isn't it
That's
weird
what I
that
was thinking.
CDs are bigger than cassettes, but CDs were higher on the technology curve? Although I'm sure like CDs can hold more data
Oh, way more
than
data.
cassettes.
Can't see a
But-
cassette in your computer.
Yeah. So she gets her cassette.
Oh, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. 8 tracks. I think weren't they higher quality than cassettes? Right, but cassettes went out over the 8
that was
track.
prior to cassettes. Yeah. I don't know. 8 tracks are like a lot bigger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't it funny? Like they had those iPod style headphones back, like as far back as like the 70s.
Oh, dude, that's like all headphones were for 30 years. Was like
Earbuds.
2 earbuds and like that aluminum like semicircle that like pulled all your hair when you were trying to adjust it. You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
know what you're talking
they had
about.
the earbuds.
It was
They had
just-
the earbuds going all
It
the
was
way
just
back to like.
just straight metal band, not
Mhm.
no cushioning on it.
Yeah. Caused a lot of pain, a lot of agony back in the day.
Well, you gotta suffer if you want to be cool.
Yeah.
So she gets like her Walkman knocked off her head by like an adult Max from Stranger Things. It looked just like Max from Stranger Things, but like just a lot taller. So future Max.
And
knocks
apparently
off
it
her-
didn't go well. It just cuts.
Yeah, I think
to
I blinked. I
her
think
with
I
the
blinked.
black eye.
I think I blinked right when she hit Max because the next scene is she's in
Well,
the principal's
it-
office.
I'm pretty sure it just cut it right before, but you could
Yeah,
tell
but I
she
think
s-
I literally
she
like
swung
blinked
at
or
her.
I stopped paying attention for like 1 second, and that was like the second. So like literally like they're in the gym. Like next thing she's in like the principal's office with a black. I was like, whoa, I missed something.
I like your attitude. You're like, fuck it, I'm not going back. We're moving forward. This is the last.
I
of
get
us.
what happened. Obviously,
I know. I understand it. What happens? Yeah. No, I'm definitely the same way.
Obviously, there was an altercation. So,
Yeah. If I need to, I'll rewatch a scene like 4 times to figure out.
I rewind every once in a while. I'm like, wait a
Yeah,
minute, what?
it depends on the situation.
Unless like a lamp fell from the ceiling, hit her in the face, then I would feel stupid if I didn't go back. But I think by their dialogue,
You can
I think
figure
they got
out.
into-
You can
they
put
got
2
into
and
a
2
fight.
together.
she got into
Yeah.
a fight with Future Max. So basically, like the principal or whatever, the head guard or whatever, tells her that what'd she say? Like her friend left and
Your friend left, or basically, look, you can either like be with us and have a good life, or be against us and have a shitty life. We're the only thing that's keeping.
Oh yeah, and
the
you could
peace.
pick what was it, a mug or the keys?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll take
because it was just like,
keys.
yeah, you'll have a shitty life, but it would be a shittier life if you weren't in the school.
Yeah.
So, do you want to be a fascist or do you want to be, a bum? Those are your choices.
Yeah.
So,
you want to be a hungry Antifa or a satisfied fascist?
Or live outside the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
or just live outside the wall like a bunch of people apparently
with
do.
all those
without any
fun
issues.
guys, all those fun guys out there.
Fun guys.
Those guys who are fun, right? Fun guys.
The guys next week look really fun.
Oh yeah, I don't think there. Oh, I'm totally wrong here. I was about to say there was like no fungal zombies in this or infected, but there was. At the
Yeah,
very
there was
end,
only
but we'll get
one.
there.
That's how she gets infected.
I think it's amazing how they both got bit like so easily, but no one got bit in the second episode because they got a lot. It's just amazing. Like one of them like even gets. I think it's luck more or just plot armor really. But yeah, I mean, I think like they would have easily gotten bitten in episode 2. And obviously the spores coming from. Also, like in like Walking Dead, like think of all the blood that gets sprays around when they cut off a zombie's head or like
I think
hit them in there or whatever.
Think how
Like,
long
it'd be
that
so
zombie
easy.
was sitting there. He's probably real hungry.
It's so easy for
Maybe it
like some
depends
blood to
on
get in
the
their
zombie.
mouth or like get in their eyes or like up their nose. It's just like amazing. Like if they get into close combat with zombies, that they don't get infected, even if they don't get bit or scratched.
Yeah, right. Like in reality, like a true like zombie apocalypse, people are like, oh, forget guns, I'm gonna use a katana because I don't have to reload. And it's like, okay, but you need to walk around in a hazmat suit, right? Because any open wounds, right? Like it's blood in your eye, you're done.
Yeah. So it's a major plot device in all zombie fiction. It
Think of
seems.
how fast bullets went out, though, unless somebody's still making bullets out there. I'm sure there's still some, but not as many.
Yeah, you can make bullets from like natural materials.
So I was thinking about this the other day, Robbie.
Remelt
and-
bullets and recycle.
Well, no, just a pro Second Amendment argument. I've never, at least I haven't heard anyone mention like the last five or so years, right? But like if I was thinking about like the Russian and Ukraine, right? Like invasion. Like no one could ever invade America because of the Second Amendment, right? Like even if you took out our military somehow, right? Like they're like thanks to the Second Amendment and gun-loving Americans, right? There's every neighborhood is basically an ammo supply depot, right? Like if
And
we have
we
an
also have two
apocalypse,
oceans.
you
bordering
run
the
out of
country.
ammo. Just go to the next neighborhood, raid all the houses. You'll find a couple thousand bullets.
There's definitely more than one bill out there.
Right, exactly. That's more for like an apocalypse. What I was thinking about for an occupation is like even if you like you couldn't walk around America, you couldn't walk around occupying America. Too many of us are armed, right? Like you just turn a corner and someone in Walmart will shoot you because they're fully armed because every American has a gun. Anyway, every American has a gun. I mean, not
Oh, I think they said something
not
else.
literally, but like it's like a 4-to-1 ratio. Something stupid.
Yeah, all the people with concealed carry too.
You're right,
Well, I mean,
exactly. But I got a buddy who has
Well,
like
if they
30
tried-
guns. He only has 2 hands, right? If he's dead in the apocalypse, I'm going over to his house. I'm taking his 30 guns.
Well, I mean, if they try to invade, like any country tries to invade through Mexico, they'll have to like go through the South, where everyone has a gun, especially Texas.
Yeah,
That's where most of which, especially everyone has a gun, more so than any other southern state. So,
Yeah.
and
I
we're
think
bordered
people
by
just
2
give up.
oceans.
They would just start trying to like cross Texas, and they would just get so bored they would just give up. Or be like,
Well, I
you know
think-
what? There's a lot of free land here. Let's just set up camp here. Texas is so fucking big.
There's just like so much space out there.
There's
that's
so
why everyone,
much space.
That's why everyone in California is moving there, because the taxes are low
taxes
for
and
now.
the politics.
And that's why everyone from New York is moving down to North Carolina. So it's
Cowards. Real freedom fighters move to Florida.
and then they move out when the hurricane comes through. So
And they move back during the summertime when it gets too hot.
So, Last of Us.
Yes.
Her friend comes in through the window, and I think this is the same actress who was in the new God of War video game. Did any of y'all played that?
She's another PlayStation exclusive? No.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, it's funny. I wonder if there's like some synergy there. Like, we'll have an actress from another PlayStation franchise in our show that's adapted from a PlayStation game. I was like,
speaking of synergy, did you know Bella Ramsey, the girl who plays Ellie, is in His Dark Materials?
I thought that was the girl from Logan was in that show. I haven't seen either, but
well, according to IMDb,
is she the lead or is she?
I don't know. I've never seen Dark Materials. This is my fun fact.
I haven't either. I saw the really bad movie with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, this is awful. But apparently people love the books. But I think people. Well, I remember the books. When the movie came out, people were like protesting it because the author is like a really hardcore atheist. Yeah. So like if the Bible Belt at the time. The movie by itself was just not good. It had nothing to do with like the belief system of the author or like the I guess the message of the movie. It was just like these kids have animals and Nicole Kidman's a bitch and there's talking polar bears.
The anti The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, right? Wasn't that guy super Christian?
Oh yeah.
I
guess I don't know if Tolkien was uber. I know C.S. Lewis.
Tolkien was uber Christian. Yeah, Tolkien was super Catholic.
Well, I mean, obviously, like the mythology of Middle Earth, it takes like borrows from Greek and Norse mythology, and a little bit Judeo-Christian because Morgoth is sort of like Satan, and Eru is like Yahweh or God.
Yeah, Tolkien.
And he was like he's like the one that fell from Hala or whatever the ethereal plane in Middle Earth is. So yeah, I mean, he sort of makes he kind of borrowed from all the major, European religions.
Well, it was Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings as an ode to British history, right?
Well, it was really like a critique of like British industrialization and how it was like destroying. How the Shire and like the surround, like how Isengard was sort of like was like a metaphor for the Industrial Revolution because they're like cutting down trees and building all these war-making facilities. So I think he was going more for that than I think religious allegory. But anyway, back to Last of Us, which is an allegory for
we're all fucked.
Wearing antifungal cream. I don't know. So her friend comes, the girl from God of War. It sort of reminds me, because I already mentioned that she was in God of War, but it sort of reminds me when, do you remember who they played Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movie?
Because they barely.
Because they got the guy from The Shield, an FX show was playing the Thing, so they got the guy from Nip Tuck, another FX show, to play Doctor Doom. And like FX, as we know, is owned by Fox, which produced Fantastic Four. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm sure they got him because he's a great actor. I don't know, but I think it was like more century. But she's a good actress. I'm sure there was like some, she's already on the radar because she was in a PlayStation game. But yeah, I think she was in the new God of War game. Anyway, so she comes to visit Ellie, and then she tells her she joined the Firefly. Is that what she tells her? She joined the Fireflies, or was it?
Yeah, she joined the Fireflies.
So they leave, and they almost get caught immediately. Because they literally get off the ladder, and like a truck goes by, like, "Hey, what's that noise?"
Right.
Dun, 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 like the.
I'm like, now time to turn around.
The exclamation mark goes up, so they just gotta sit there until the music dies down. Dun, 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 dun. So and then they go to the mall. Or wait, there's like something that happens when they're on the roofs. They're jumping on the rooftops. And what are they talking about? Just, I thought it was significant. I guess not.
No,
they found that dead body.
Oh
yeah, the body.
Yeah,
that wasn't
and he
there.
hadn't turned yet. But I guess the fungus hasn't found him yet. And they drink the bottle from the dead guy who's been drinking on it. Like he probably has like diseased backwash in the bottle, and they're drinking from the bottle. So it's like that's probably more dangerous than getting bitten by an infected, just drinking after a homeless dead dude.
Oh, and they
So-
said the bottle was. How did
It was
they
open.
phrase it? The before times.
Well, he said like he probably bought it for like what little money or cigarettes he had. So he was just like drinking and he just died. So they get the bottle, they go to the mall, and they turn on the lights. Somehow there's still electricity, which would probably go into. It's kind of like funny is like how many people in Boston are like freezing cold because they don't have electricity, or there's like electricity
They totally
curfew.
could still use that mall, and there's
And yet, oh yeah, they could probably just use the mall just for like holding people, or just like facility, or just like but it's like, yep, there's like all these kilowatts of electricity is going to this mall that nobody's in, and nobody knows about all this power, which is very precious at this point in time. So
Now it's a little bit different in the.
well, they did
video
have
game.
everything cut off. She just cut everything back on.
yeah, so they get to the mall and they go to Victoria's Secret first, or
Oh, so they turn on the lights first, right? Which I thought was a really cool scene, right?
Well,
Like,
they go to the escalator.
Yeah, the 5 wonders.
oh
of
yeah,
the
she's never
mall.
seen an escalator.
Also, just to circle back, the actress who plays Riley is Storm Reed. And it looks like the voice actor for God of War Ragnarok is Danielle Biscuiti.
Well, is Storm Reed like the model for?
No, it's like
sometimes.
It's like her name.
Well, no, I'm saying like because like in the Spider-Man game, the guy who's the model for Spider-Man is not the same as the voice actor.
Oh, okay. Oh, kind of like how the boys modeled the Huey off of what's his name, Sean, whatever. But that's not who plays him in the.
Well, that's not a video game, but I'm saying like the Spider-Man video game, like the actor who is like the visual model for Peter Parker is different than the guy who voices him. And I think there was a big controversy because they recast the model for Peter Parker in like the remastered edition. Everyone was really pissed off because the guy sort of kind of looked like Tom Holland, and people like much preferred the original model. So, but besides that,
just people have so much to get pissed off about.
Well, it was just like one of those things. Like everyone loved the game, and they were just like it just seemed like an unnecessary change. There was like a mod where you could like someone like did a mod where like it's called like Penis Parker, and it's just a Peter Parker, but you can see his junk. So I don't know. It's not like officially part of the game, but someone did a mod where you could just fly naked as Peter Parker. So anyway, so they're hanging out in the mall, and they go to Victoria's Secret first, and she sort of like looks in the mirror and tries to make herself look pretty for Storm Reed. What's your friend's name again?
Riley.
Okay.
Yeah, and Riley's
So-
like, "Ooh, you look pretty with that lingerie on," and then she like starts to blush.
Trying
or
to
whatever.
imagine you in that lunch.
Oh, trying to, yeah, right. It's like, oh, geez, guys, get a room.
They go to play Mortal Kombat next.
Yeah. Oh, well, I do want to mention one thing for everyone at home, because I think this is important. For the second time in HBO's Game of Thrones history, the world has had to rush online to Google the age of an actress. Bella Ramsey's 19.
Really?
Yeah, I had
She's
no
playing a
idea.
14-year-old.
Playing a 14-year-old. She looks 14 for sure. Dude, she's got the baby fat in the face. Like she looks 14, right? And I was like,
I think-
what? HBO? Euphoria is one thing, right? And that's like a different podcast. But
Who
like,
was the girl who was Maggie's sister in The Walking Dead, like the blonde one who was like kidnapped by the cops in the hospital?
I've seen one episode, and that's why I was.
Oh, okay. Like
with
I think
someone.
like in that show she's like 18, but in like real life she was like 37. So it was like, you're kidding me. Or she's like supposed to be like 16, but she was like 20 years older than that.
Is that like good?
So-
Did she age? Like, was it very obvious, or was it just good makeup and good aging on her part? Like some
Well, no,
actors
she just
pull it
like
off.
she wasn't like, I don't think she was wearing makeup. She was just like literally looked like she was 16, but she was like in her late
That's
30s,
crazy.
I think. So, but
Have you guys seen like the what do you call it? The videos, the short form, the TikToks going around with like the new filters?
Yeah.
For
what
women.
I want to know, how old is the actress who plays
Oh,
Riley?
how it puts makeup on you.
Yeah, like that's a crazy, like, dude, like prepare to get catfished by, like, in the past, you used to catfish people by like pretending you're someone else. But, like, now you're gonna be able like to catfish people by pretending to be yourself with like these dramatic filters on. And Storm Reed is 19 years old.
Okay, good. So
Or no,
nothing
3.
illegal. Nothing illegal was.
Oh, of course not, right? But also,
Well,
nothing,
I mean, it did
yeah.
exist, so it wasn't. Even if they were like both 14, then it would be.
It's
safe.
acting, guys. Now I was curious. I have my notes here. Robbie, was this scene in the game, or did they add this scene because Bella Ramsey's gender fluid?
Well, I remember the scene with the mass. I forgot if it led to them
Led to a kiss.
kissing,
the
or
ass?
if it just kind of hinted that they really liked each other. I don't really remember, honestly.
Well, I just. I
No,
don't think it was. I don't think it was
apologize, Robbie, for not remembering of a 14-year-old girl kissing another 14-year-old girl in a video game you played 5 years ago. I'm glad that's not stored in your memory banks.
It was longer than that.
Yeah. So but it's kind of interesting. Like she had this poster. I think this was mentioned in like the after inside the episode special after that they talk about, like, you know, she's like had this poster of Mortal Kombat 2 on her you know, her wall in her apartment or her room, and you know she's probably read about it in like a magazine. Now she's playing for the first time, so that must have been pretty cool. And like seeing escalators like that, so it's
That's gonna be like how it feels when I play The Last of Us for the first time. It's like, oh, like all this media.
I've heard about this.
Yeah,
I've heard about
I
this
can't
relic of a
actually get
game.
my hands on it.
It is real. So yeah, then the clicker attacks them. They both get bit. And yeah, I thought she did a really good job of just like, I'm sure like when you get bit by one of those things, you know exactly what's going to happen. That must be terrifying. Like to know that, yeah, it's over. So
I'm actually watching a
we lost you.
Watching something.
Watching a what?
Still
Watching a what?
or-
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
cut out for a second.
when you said like then you lost me.
What are we watching, Rob?
Yes.
Oh, a little comparison video of that scene.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah,
gotcha.
they did kiss in the game,
okay.
All right.
So not,
and
not
it was the same,
particular to
like
the
in
actress.
the same.
Oh, really? So
store
this
with
whole
the
mall
mask.
scene was in the game?
Yeah, it's downloadable DLC, downloadable content.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
after the
DLC.
fact, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I don't really remember. I've just seen parts of it because it was a DLC that I didn't get.
Yeah, it's funny. I know it's the only DLC I've ever been interested in is like the Harley Quinn spin-off mission in Arkham City.
I don't know, dude. There's like the
And they
best
probably did-
DLC in my opinion, Rock Band. That's like the best DLC, right? Like when you went from like spending $60 for a game where you played like 10 or 15 songs, right, to being able to drop $1.99 or 99 cents, right, on like individual songs online that you could just play, like that was peak DLC, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, people can just start. They can just make whatever song and do just make up notes for it.
Right, and just keep playing it. Yeah, dude. And there's infinite
Oh,
amount of
dude, in
music out there.
VR, damn, what's it called with the dual lightsabers? Beat Saber?
The new Jedi game.
No, it's like where you're slicing blocks to the music and dodging stuff coming at you.
Kinda like a
There's
Ninja
a lot of
Warrior for
There's a lot of
Ninja.
custom ones people have made.
Oh, I gotcha. How is VR? Is it getting better?
Yeah, apparently I'm kind of behind on like the headsets and stuff. But I've been seeing things online that they've been getting smaller and better.
The new Oculus headsets, like $1,500 or whatever that Facebook put out. So I'll wait for that price
Oh,
to come
jeez.
down a lot.
I mean, I have the their older Oculus. It's like 300.
I will be one of the last of us to get $1,500 Oculus headset. So they kiss, they share the scene, and then
And
The clicker.
the zombie
clicker
Yeah.
shows up.
There's they have the little dramatic.
It was totally
she leaves and then
it was
comes
totally
back.
the loud music they were playing on the speakers in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, basically it's just like putting a target on your back and going into a sniper field.
Weird that they didn't clear the entire mall before like they gave it to her. Right? Like
Also
if
weird
I was
that
Fireflies and I was turning on the power and this was gonna be a base of operations, I would have checked every like room in the
And
mall.
how long do you think it takes for them to just like grow along the wall like that? He was sitting
years,
there for
right?
a while.
That's what I'd imagine.
so they get bitten and Ellie has a temper tantrum.
What do you guys think?
Justifiably so.
Bullshit? Like that you didn't get to see Ellie kill
Yeah, she was pissed. that
Riley?
she finally was moving into something.
Well,
and
I think they're probably going to show. They might show it next week.
Oh, you think they might show it next week? I doubt it. I don't.
Yeah, they gotta like show like what happened. Yeah, 'cause they kind of.
yeah, is this leading into her first kill?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I
like,
just kind of thought it
someone-
was like.
And it turns
I just
out
thought they
to
were
be
just
Riley?
leaving it by. I just thought they were just like setting it there and leaving it for the imagination, and they were just picking up with like the Joel story next.
I was
surprised.
wondering if they were gonna do that.
Yeah, I thought they were just gonna leave it to the imagination. You know, you can put two and two together, right? Like her and her friend get bit. Her friend's dead now. She said a couple episodes that she's had to kill someone before. You know, you can put two and two together. But I wanted to see the emotional. I want to see the acting, right? The acting's been so.
Yeah, the acting was really good.
So good this season. I mean, on this show,
Like,
right? Only one season.
You get the emotion.
Yeah, I want to see this actress Bella Ramsey like emotionally act out killing Riley. Like that would just been really cool. But they cut away, and I get it, and I'll let it play out in my head or whatever, and blah blah art.
Well, there's like two
It's
episodes
in,
left, so I don't think they're gonna get to like the cannibals even this season.
I think
or they might.
the cannibals are next episode. Not to get into
Okay.
spoilers. I think Hunter and the cannibals are next episode, if I remember correctly from the preview.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just see. But yeah, this was a
Nice.
good episode. Looking forward
This
to
was a
more.
good
And
episode.
obviously, she started to, luckily she found some thread and a needle, and she's going to close up the wound and
Hopefully,
hopefully
yeah,
she finds it and
Yeah, and
disinfect
he's-
it because
He's probably lost a lot of blood.
I gotta say, these are fantastic filler episodes, right? Like filler might not be the right word, but it's like the generic term, so it's what term I'm going to use. Like Bill and
It's an
Fred
interesting
was a
story.
fantastic filler episode. This was a great filler episode, right?
Well,
And
it
it's
made-
filler
it
in the
made good on the
definition that
promise.
it doesn't move.
It did move
the
on to
initial
show
plot.
you still there and hanging.
Joel's
around.
still alive, thank goodness. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is my first bullet point in all caps. Thank God Joel is alive.
See, she's taken lead as the guard and hunter.
And Hunter and everything. Yeah, little Ellie's growing up.
She had that sniper rifle and those people coming up.
It's a good thing he taught Joel taught her how to shoot some stuff before he got stabbed.
Yeah, how to hold a pistol without somebody snatching it from you easily.
Yeah, let's see. Can't wait to watch it. You know, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Can't wait to see how the rest of the season goes. Clever transition about taking a shit on something. I mean, I was gonna like, but this episode's not taking a shit on anything. This Last of Us is like doing the opposite.
But in
taking
South
shit on my
Park.
heart. But in South Park, right? Yeah. try to transition over to South Park, season 26, episode 3, Japanese toilets.
yeah, I thought this was funnier than the last
love
episode
this
with Prince
I
Harry.
saw the text from Matt said he didn't
Matt,
really like it.
yeah, dude. So
So I
Matt-
went in with low expectations.
Yes,
but I
me
enjoyed
too. Me fucking too. Mattson was like, oh, very like disappointed by this week's episode of South Park. Not funny or whatever. So
So it wasn't really
exactly.
had nothing to do with current events. I don't think it was just sort of like I'm pretty sure like Trey Parker just got a Japanese toilet and was like, I think I'm gonna do an episode about this.
Or
I
is
believe
the
that.
toilet paper curling?
I get it. You know, like
It's-
5
they
or
don't.
10 minutes in, I'm watching it, right? And I'm like, no, I get what Matt's saying, right? Like, the world is so fucked up right now, right? And like South Park is such a bastion of sanity and hilarity, right? Like, you know, like
Oh, man,
calling out
we all
Megan and
need a
Harry
little
last.
good
Exactly.
comedy.
So, like, you know, you're wondering, like South Park. I need you to be relevant.
everybody
I need you
lighten
to
up a
make
little
commentary on my life. and they're just talking about bidets, right? But like, let's be honest, bidets, I believe, statistically, are kind of fucking awesome, right? But let's get into the
I've yet
episode.
to actually use one. Have you?
I haven't. So I haven't used one yet, but like, I am familiar with wet wipes. So if someone was to come to me and said, "Hey, Major, a bidet is 300% of everything you like and enjoy about wet wipes," I'd be like, "Here's my money. Shut up and take my money. Like, I'm done."
Well, you need like a dryer for your. I think you need a dryer.
That's a question I wonder, but like, no one ever mentions it. So I imagine there's some
mentioned in South
features.
Park that it has a dryer.
Yeah, there's like
maybe you got to spend
$10,000.
$10,000.
It's got to be weird. It's got to be weird, like just having it like shoot up. It's just weird because like, in the shower, everyone's used to it like just like going down when I got clean on there. But
wait, your shower doesn't shave your asshole?
Not yet. I guess I don't have a Japanese
Shave
shower.
your asshole.
What?
I shower like Batman and Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton. I shower upside down.
Well, I clean in there when I
feet.
shower, just because you do feel gross.
So the episode opens up with Randy. Here's some pop culture. Here's some recent information. Here's some recent references for you, Robbie. South Park. The episode opens up with Randy playing the new Harry Potter. You've been playing the new Harry Potter.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that part.
That was fun.
Yeah, they're playing the new. What's it called?
And he was like, "Oh wait, what?
What's the Harry Potter? What's the new game called?
Hogwarts Legacy."
Legacy. That's it. Yeah.
We should call it the new Harry Potter because it's not about Harry Potter. It's just in the world. And it's actually 100 years before Harry Potter. It's in the 1800s.
Is Dumbledore in it?
But Hogwarts looks just the same, basically. Because Hogwarts is freaking old.
Made out of stone.
It's like 1,000 years old. Well, I think in like the Chamber of Secrets.
I'm not
it's 1,000.
really sure. I think the book's
about as old as
somewhere,
like.
but I don't remember how old it is.
Well, isn't like Great Britain like 2,000 years old? Well, it's older than
Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry was founded in the late 10th century, according to the books.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah. So it was like after. It was like after England had been founded. So it was like probably after the Battle of Hastings, right? Because 10th century, that's the 1100s, right?
It was 1990s. You go back one.
Oh, so it's the 1000s.
Yeah.
Okay, so before the First Crusade. Well,
I mean the 990s, not the 1990s.
All right, I say
tonight
1990s.
we're gonna party
yeah.
like it's 999.
And then the Battle of Hastings was in 1066. So tomato.
But I think the siege of Jerusalem was like 1099. So I don't know, somewhere in that area, somewhere in that vicinity. So 10th century, that's 900 something.
Yeah, 990.
I don't even know. I guess the Normans and Saxons were there, but it was like after the Romans had left, right? My British history is very minimal.
Yeah, I mean, the Romans left as in like they tried and then it failed, and then they went back home. Yeah, that's
well, they conquered like England. They just never conquered Scotland. I guess they just the empire fell in like the 400s, and I guess they just packed up and went home, or they just some of them stayed. There's probably still some Roman architecture there. But yeah, so anyway, so he's playing Hogwarts Legacy, and then he gets,
I just wanted to
retire.
I was just double checking real fast. Rome did not conquer England. I didn't think so. Romans tried to.
It conquered everything
in
south
43.
of Hadrian's Wall. It conquered everything south of Hadrian's Wall. That's Wales and England, because Hadrian's Wall is the border between England and Scotland.
So this is where Google McFucks you. The Roman province of Britannia includes much of which is now England, Wales, and southern Scotland.
Okay,
but they never controlled the entire island. All right, I roll for fucking Google. Fuck. All right. Anyway.
Well, to be fair, England didn't exist back then.
Yeah, right. Like, what is England?
Conquered.
People are like,
England.
The Bible doesn't mention dinosaurs. It's like, yeah, the word dinosaur wasn't created until the 1800s. So fuck off.
Yeah, I don't even know who. I think. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother to try to be a historical scholar. So.
No facts here, all fiction. What do you guys? Speaking of, would you guys own a bidet? Well, not while we're talking about it.
I would now, but I rent, so I got to use whatever they give me.
I would definitely own a bidet, 100%. I have no problem with bidet rhyming with gay either. It's not my favorite fun fact in the world, but like I'll do it. I'm okay with it. Let me ask you this: how much do you think bidets cost? Like Randy bought his for $10,000. What do you think like a good entry level bidet on Amazon is?
Well, those ones that just attach to your current toilet. Those I'm not sure how much those are, but they're cheap.
Those are like $45. Like, I've been really tempted, but like, I don't want to do that. Like, I feel like spending $45 to clean your butt's just like a sex toy, right? Like, you gotta spend like a couple $100s on a new toilet to do the bidet right.
One that's made for it instead of your own
what do
little custom one.
What do you think, Robbie? No heated seat, no Amazon, no iTunes playlist, right? Just your solid bidet for your new house on Amazon. What do you
Japanese
think
toilet?
Yes, Japanese toilet.
$500.
Oh, okay.
Throwing a number out there.
I like it. All right, Price is Right for us. What do you think?
For a Japanese toilet?
Yeah.
I thought it was like $10,000. They said.
Well, for his specific one.
Well, he asked for like the best one.
He's not poor. He sells pot. He's not poor.
So what did Robbie say?
500.
And this is Price is Right. 501.
Yeah, there you go. That was the correct answer. That was the correct answer. 501.
Did you see that Family Guy? Did you see that Family Guy where he's like,
yeah, what was
like, what was the last one? 600? Okay, 601. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Dude, it's so true though. It's like
it is unfair. They really should like all go
like,
at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of.
They shouldn't go one at a time. They should just like have everyone like write it down what they think.
Yeah, like Jeopardy.
Yeah,
Final Jeopardy style. But I think that's fun.
Right?
It's half the fun is just watching someone be a dick, right? Like someone's like, I'll bet $1, Bob, right? A1 loves the dollar bid, and everyone loves the something in $1 bid. Right? Everyone's an ass.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Burn it down.
Remember, the guy who plays Jesse on Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I was just about to mention that fun fact.
He was on Price is Right before I guess not before he became an actor, before he was famous.
I've seen that clip of that.
Yeah, he's just like he had like 5 Red Bulls.
Yeah, science. So,
wait, did y'all also while on the Breaking Bad, anyone see the Super Bowl commercial were they promoting chips or it's like puffy chips or I don't know, they look like chips.
I don't even remember what they were promoting.
They like popcorn chips.
They were there.
It was something.
That's like probably like the 3rd or 4th commercial he's done as Walter White since that show's finished.
All right, let me ask you this: is he milking it? Is he selling out, or is he just like getting?
Oh yeah. I mean, he did like literally a pharmacy commercial. literally,
what was
2 years after.
What was the pharmacy?
That's
I don't remember. Just look up like Breaking Bad pharmacy.
I will. I will after this episode.
And he's done like a Seth Rogen. He did like a Funny or Die thing with Seth Rogen, where like Seth Rogen becomes the most evil man in the world. And he's cooking meth with Heisenberg, and so he loves coming back to that role. And he was also. Well, have you all seen Better Call Saul?
Yeah, we'll say yes. We haven't, but we'll say yes.
He shows up, and I think he cameos in like 2 episodes.
What? So, he pulls a Michael Scott in the later seasons, the last season.
Yeah, he shows up in like the series finale, and he shows up I think in like another episode, like a few episodes before that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now
I'm sad Better Call Saul is gone. So.
So you can get a entry-level luxury bidet on Amazon for about $600, or you can get a Numi 2.0 for $11.5 thousand, right? $11.5. Now, one of my favorite features about the Numi 2.0 is that it comes with an emergency flush system that supports up to 100 flushes during power outages with a simple touch button activation. 100 flushes per power outage. How do you own a 12K toilet and you don't own a generator?
Don't know.
But it's a pretty cool feature, right? Usually when you're moving out, right, you shut all the power off, you turn off all the utilities, you get 1 flush left in that toilet. Not this one. This one you get 100 flushes.
If you had 1 flush
to
get everything down the pipe, would you take it or just let it slip?
I would let it sit.
So he wants to get rid of Old Blue. No, his wife wants to get rid of Old Blue.
Yeah.
And he gets a Japanese toilet, and I think the proctologist gets mad, but it's
he
kind of
starts
funny.
Kicking it. It's so great.
Yeah.
But apparently the
setup at Home Depot.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
They go in
right.
that separate room.
With the champagne. It's so luxury. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, and the bouncers.
So
Ooh.
this episode hits with a lot of fucking facts, right? Like I was doing some fact checking. Like roughly 5 billion people in the world don't use toilet paper. Like that's mind blowing. Like
Well,
that's crazy
not
by
everyone in the
itself.
world is running water, also.
Well,
So
That's
yeah.
true. All right. Yes. Okay. Good point. You derailed my bit. Something force interrupts with
dark
obvious
side.
world facts. That's something the GIs don't tell you about when they come back from war, right? Like, you know, we go to Vietnam or Korea or you know, geez, America's invaded enough fucking countries at this point, right? Like we've hit some point of this 5 billion people. I've never heard any GIs be like, yeah, but they don't wipe their ass, you know, like that explains a lot of the hepatitis going around in the military.
Oh.
I mean, it was a better joke before, like you threw me off. That's okay. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming me. The bit's not funny.
Well, I like the JFK parody. I don't know if any of y'all seen that movie with Kevin Costner, but I think that scene where he's talking to Jimmy, that's right from the movie JFK, where like Kevin Costner's talking to Donald Sutherland. I think Donald Sutherland had like literally like 10 pages of dialogue, and he only had like a day to memorize it for that scene, and he did it flawlessly. But it's like him basically just like going over like the conspiracy behind Kennedy and.
Wait, you said he did it flawlessly?
Flawlessly, yeah.
In a movie?
Well, he had, I think, just a day to prepare for that role because I think someone else was cast. But Donald Sutherland
yeah, but
got
like
last
you can
second.
take but like Stanley Kubrick can like make you take 100 cuts, right? They have cue cards. Like I'm not saying like that's not gorgeous or whatever. I'm not taking away from his accomplishment, right? But like applauding an actor for nailing his lines flawlessly, that seems more like a praise to the.
I think like on the
department.
first try, I think that was.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's different completely. Yeah.
But yeah, I think because he's like literally has like 10 pages of dialogue, and Kevin Costner's just like, interesting. So, but yeah, he's like just going over like Jimmy's going over the toilet paper.
The real life figure of Fletch Prouty in the 1991 Oliver Stone film JFK. So what you're talking about?
I thought his name was like Deep Throat or like X or something. He doesn't like. He's just like he's.
Oh,
like
he played the role of X, a fictional character based on the real life figure of L. Fletcher Prouty.
Okay. So, but yeah, so that was a funny JFK parody, and you know,
what do you think? Oh yeah, first off, I was really happy South Park mocked the JFK assassination with Randy getting shot while talking about toilet paper, because the facts are real, right? Like according to Statista, in 2020, the average American household spent about $120 a year on toilet paper. Right, the average American uses 141 rolls per year on toilet paper, which equates to about 57 sheets per day. Right, so it's basically like the stats are in line, like with South Park with what they were saying, right? So Randy's trying to like preach the truth about toilet paper, how it's like a big scam and a big sham, and then he gets like, you know, they make fun like the JFK assassination. Now you can't shoot him in the face because you need Randy for the next episode, and he's not Kenny, so he can't just come back, you know. But like, I really enjoyed like him getting shot in the arm, like just making fun like the whole JFK thing,
yeah.
Right? Because JFK was trying to like tell the truth too. He was like talking about like the Gulf of Tonkin or whatever, right? I don't remember all the details, right? But like he was like a truth speaker until the male models assassinated him.
Yep. Remember that?
Yeah,
two guys in the grassy knoll. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I get the reference. So
yeah, you do.
I can't remember anything else.
Also, can I just say, South Park, the only show on television today that can get away with Randy, right? Like he's in the hospital bed and he's like murmuring this fake Japanese and this terrible, offensive Japanese accent, and then like they're like his family's walking away, he's just like "Konnichiwa," right? Like not even like Family Guy. Peter Griffin couldn't even get away with doing that today, right? But like Randy, fucking problem.
Well, you know, like Trey Parker's like voicing all the Japanese.
Yeah, it's highly offensive for anything else except South Park.
Oh my god!
They're just like
when they came and installed the toilet.
Oh yeah, well, you know, they literally make these shows like in a week.
Yeah,
because the animation technology. So like, it's just they just voice all the characters themselves because just out of like not necessity, but just simplicity. They don't want to like have to schedule like 10 actors like Family Guy does to come do voices every
Right.
week. But even in that case, like the animation takes much longer to accomplish. But it's just like Matt and Trey, and they have like a few actresses to do voices, and like the occasional like guest star, like someone they're just friends with in real life, like Bill Maher or some other people. But yeah, it's really just Matt and Trey do all the voices, just for simplicity's sake. So, but yeah, that's not like a Justin Roiland situation.
I was
Like,
just
it's
about to
Trey
make. I was about to
it's
make
Trey
a Justin
Parker-
Roiland joke.
Well, especially
That's
Trey
funny you were
Parker, he
there.
does all the music too for the. He does all the writing and music for the show, and Matt Stone does like all. Matt Stone does all the.
dum.
I think all the business side of the franchise, but yeah, thank goodness South Park is still around.
Right.
The Simpsons is too, but I haven't watched Simpsons in.
I haven't watched this
15
in
years.
years. Right.
I
like,
might watch an occasional episode every now and then, and like sometimes it will make me laugh. I'm just like, eh.
I'm not actively avoiding The Simpsons, but if someone was to provide me, like, present The Simpsons to me, I would actively avoid it. I'd be like, nah, I don't. I had such good memories growing up, right? Like, I don't want to ruin them. No, thank you.
I can't watch Simpsons anymore, man. I can't, man. Ant-Man. Let's talk about Ant-Man.
Oh, okay,
So-
but that was a great transition. But I do want to talk about. I just want to go back real fast because I have like one extra note, and that's Randy completely changing his stance after he gets shot. Like,
Oh
that's
my God, yeah.
That's
That's
so
so
fucking
Randy,
funny.
so in character.
That's so Randy. That's so just South. That's such a great comment. That's such fantastic commentary. He's like, oh, you know what? Actually, shut up, guys. Like, now that I've been harmed, like, the truth isn't that important. Let's go back to being sheeple.
And I think they broke the fourth wall. Like South Park would like to apologize to the toilet paper industry.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, like
He
don't
looks at
don't
the
attack
camera.
us. Yeah, it's so good.
I like
All of South Park say you're
Stan,
sorry.
Stan, whatever you do, don't squeeze the shadow.
Timmy was good this episode.
No, that was Jimmy, not Timmy.
Oh, was that Jimmy?
Timmy's in a wheelchair. Jimmy's
Jimmy's okay.
It's
I
Stan.
like how they were like
Squeeze the
Jimmy, like Kyle puts like the pieces together. He's like, wait, 3 years ago, a second grader, and I was like, oh yeah, like in South Park, even though we've had 26 seasons, right, and they've only like
always
gone up one grade, like yeah,
and they're mentioning Hogwarts Legacy. So it is set in present day. But
It's
it is
keep
set in-
fading.
Don't
over and
you
over
have
again.
a PS5 and playing Hogwarts Legacy? Well, you're playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Everyone's playing on a PS4. So yeah. Well, this was a pretty funny episode. I thought I liked it better than the Prince Harry episode, which I think a lot of times what South Park does, they'll just use this. They'll like come up with one joke, and they'll just reuse that joke all throughout the episode.
We want privacy.
We want privacy.
Well, the whole episode was the World Privacy Tour.
I enjoyed it though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're not wrong,
definitely
Forrest.
enjoyed it. It was
I
You're
wonder.
not wrong.
I wonder if Harry and Meghan have seen that or if they've responded yet.
Oh, they have. No, they have.
I'm sure that if they haven't,
launched a lawsuit or they made a public statement. They did something like exactly like what they were being made fun of in the episode. Like, I think like the next day it came out, they were like released a
he
public
said
statement saying like, don't
he's
make fun of
gonna-
us. We just want to like be respected or whatever.
he wants privacy, but he's gonna live stream his therapy session. I saw in news.
So interesting.
Really? Go on about that? What?
Well, that's basically the gist
Oh, that's
of
it,
it.
yeah.
And they just started talking about it. And apparently he's gonna live stream. I don't.
The Worldwide Privacy Tour.
I
Well,
I
Yes, he
missed it.
definitely. He really.
Don't you worry, Zeitgeist Zealots will not be covering that at all.
What little content we watch. So, but yeah, we're over an hour. We can talk about Ant-Man next time if y'all want, or do y'all have any thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, let's talk about
Did you
Ant-Man
like,
next
did
time.
you did you like? Okay. Did you even like it, Major?
I loved it. Come at me,
Yeah.
you fucking
It was so
haters.
much better than the second movie, and like Rotten Tomatoes gave that a fresh rating.
So much better. It was better than like Doctor Strange and Mom.
I think the
Multiverse of
scale
Madness.
was.
And I
the
love Doctor
scale
Strange. It was better than Thor, and I love Thor.
Oh,
I
yeah, that was easy,
hate
but-
Ant-Man. You guys have heard. Listen to the podcast, right? Like kicking and screaming, dragging my feet while I watch an Ant-Man property. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of Ant-Man.
I really liked Jonathan Majors as Kang. So
Jonathan
I don't
Majors
know if
just
he.
can't wait to see all the
I don't know if he's
How
not
they just-
quite, doesn't.
How they just took his actual face and just enlarged enlarged it on there and enlarged his eyes or something.
You're talking about Murdoch? Talking about
Oh yeah.
It looked like he looked like the annoying
Oh yeah.
orange.
That was.
You all know that? You all know that YouTube show, The Annoying Orange?
yes, I hate
Yeah.
that.
He looked like that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It was
I
like,
will tell
it's
you
like,
this,
I can't
yeah.
describe. I can't. What's the word to describe that character?
Ugly, awful, atrocious.
It's like irritating or. what's the word I'm thinking of?
Gee, yeah,
Annoying
cringe. Yeah, annoying orange. Aren't you
Yeah.
glad to say
Well, so it was like a
Aren't you glad
YouTube
to say
show.
banana?
And then it became like a Cartoon Network show, I think. And then I think
God,
Oh geez.
well, I can't wait for Zaslav to cancel that if he hasn't already.
well, we're getting another season of Velma because, of course.
Because of me, I watched it for 90 million hours.
Well, I guess everyone hate watched it, so it got a lot of views.
Oh,
They're
so
like, oh,
here's my thing, right?
there's so many people.
People must like this.
Velma sucked, right? Velma was not funny, right? It wasn't even like it was offensive, but it wasn't like
It just
offensive
got
every single
it just
time.
got a lot of attention.
It was
even
just
though-
bad. It was
Yeah.
offensive. There was like one or two funny jokes. There was like one or two like very offensive things, right? But like just overall, it was fucking stupid. It was fucking bad.
Yeah, it got a ton of attention, but most of it was not because it was good.
I will say this though, right? So I want to preface this because I'm not defending it by any means whatsoever, but I might be defending cartoons here, right? And like fuck Velma, right? They even made fun of like the user base, right? They're like in Velma makes fun of adults who watch like animated cartoon shows, right? Like this is your fucking audience and you're making fun of them, so fuck you. That being said, like a lot of times the first season of television in general, but animated TV specifically, isn't that great. Like people need seasons and episodes to like get their bearings, get their feet straight, work out the characters. So like this instantaneous cancel culture, not on like Twitter or whatever, but like the last, or not the last was, but Why the Last Man, another awful show, right? But it got canceled before the season even finished, right? Now the showrunners knew that season was going to end like crap, but the rest of us didn't. So that's just what I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I guess these shows sometimes need some breathing room. Like, maybe I'm just being optimistic, right? Because Rings of Power is going to be 5 seasons, and the first season sucked, or at least was not great, not good, right?
Well,
like,
they're already like Warner Brothers is already doing like another Lord of the Rings film franchise.
Dude, clap back, dude. So GC, we should talk about that. Yeah, next we'll do that with the Quantum Mania episode.
Yeah. Well, we're at an hour, so maybe
exactly. I'll finish this rant up. Yeah, I'll finish this rant up and just say like, Velma sucked, but maybe we need to let these shows breathe some, so they can get their feet and we can see how a second or a third season can be, right? Because like Bob's Burger, the first season wasn't that good. Right, Family Guy,
I've never
American
seen
Dad.
A full episode of that.
Yeah, it's very.
I thought American Dad started off strong.
Maybe it did.
The first episode, like he's about to pee. Oh, it's just us.
Oh wait, is that the one when they're watching TV and it's not plugged in? Yes, yeah, no, Family Guy did start off strong. You're right about that. But
Dad. Family Guy started off really strong. I mean, because Family Guy came out right when The Simpsons was starting to dip in quality. Like right around like when season 10 of The Simpsons, where I think like that's the end of the golden era, and then Family Guy came out and was just like hit it out of the park. But now Family Guy's unwatchable too. So
I don't know. No, this last season had some banger episodes. But guys, what do you think the golden episode of Simpsons were? Forrest says it's 1 through 10.
Well, probably like 3 through 8 for like hardcore fans, because the first 2 seasons of The Simpsons really are kind of like establishing the world, but it doesn't really get that funny until season 3.
Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. Like Velma's like, they're just discovering the characters, right? We gotta establish that Fred has a small penis as a white male, right? And we gotta figure out that Shaggy's a beta male, and that Scooby's actually a CIA program for transplanting brains into soldiers, or blah blah blah. Whatever, I don't barely remember that show, but it's getting a second season, so shut the fuck up and I'll watch it next season for you guys. You can tweet at us at ZZL Podcast on Twitter. Find us there. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Let us know what you think about The Mandalorian, season 3, episode 1, aka chapter 17, The Apostate. I'm gonna be honest here. I thought it was kind of weak, right? Like you saw those fucking Mandalorians get their ass kicked by a fish, right? Like that wasn't impressive at all. But let me know what you think. Again, that's Zeitgeist Podcast on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. I'm Forrest.
Major.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.